So last week I told you that we're in this process of taking stuff out and putting stuff in, and I'm so excited to let you know that finally these windows are in. I mean, just have a look at how good this looks. Good energy on the build today, even though the weather is absolutely terrible, because I can hear work going on. So let's go and have a quick look at what's going on in the garden. But most importantly for me is the kitchen. We really talk about this transformation that's going on. And right now, O'Brien Property Maintenance, Dan and Luke are in the kitchen. The kitchens are in, and now the tiling's happening. So we're gonna see a real transformation. I'm gonna get wet boots in a second. Digger driver, busy at work. Morgan, not entirely sure what Morgan does. Talking about the landscaping, Harrison, watch your feet. We have a delivery from our friends over at Brett. So what we're looking at here, H, you might be able to see, this is Eden porcelain slate. So it's 1,000 by 500 porcelain tiles, clouded sky. It's gonna look absolutely stunning. So what Dan's doing right now is putting the drainage system behind that wall. So all of the garden at the back has its natural soak away into the brook. That'll be done in the next 2 days. Tomorrow, the plasterers are coming in, but let's go and have a look in the kitchen where the tiling's happening right now.
How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
We're going all right. It's going.
It's going all right. It's been a long day already, has it, Luke?
Nah, it's all right.
Guys, this is looking stunning. So Luke, when I came in earlier, you were, and I can kind of still see some of the marks.
Yeah, so I like to work out my prep first. Prep's key. You need to know where things are going to land. On the top, we've marked out, making sure there's not going to be a slither. You want it to be a decent sized cut at the top. Sometimes you might have to cut the bottoms to get an even, but with these, we're quite lucky. And then I work from the centre because I need to know where. Obviously, we've worked off the hood, really, haven't we, on this one? Because on the centre, it looked slightly off to me.
Okay.
So we've worked from the centre. And you know you're going to get equal cuts, slightly off on this just because of the brick wall on the side. So it more to do with, like I say, prep's key. You don't want anything to land in the wrong place. So obviously you've got your beams. You need to know that the beams are going to be, as you can see, it's either going to land in the middle of the tile, which we can cut round, or on the corner of the tile. So we'll have just a corner going round the beam.
All these sockets here.
Yeah.
What do you have to do if, I guess this is exactly what I'm asking, is like you've basically just got to cut the tiles.
So you've got half cut, we know that we've got enough to cover on the top there, but what we'd usually use, if it landed, say, centre to the socket, if we had bigger tiles, I'd hole saw it where the square is to make sure I've got it, bang it, I'd mark it all out.
What sort of hole saw? Because I only know really like...
So these are diamond hole saw bits they are, and that'll do a nice clean hole straight through. And then these are jigsaw blades for the actual jigsaw, but it's got the diamond bit on it. So once you've got the hole through, you can then jig out between and jig it round. So even if it's bang in the middle of the tile, you're happy days. Nice.
And you make this look dead easy.
I think it's more, I find it quite therapeutic, to be fair. Tiling, I do like it. It's once things start coming together, it's a nice feeling as well.
I remember being on a job and seeing some plastering work take place, and the plasterers just made it look dead easy, and I had a go.
Yeah. And
it was tremendously hard. Turns out these guys have been doing it for 15 years, and there is a true skill to it.
Yeah.
I think I've just got a new appreciation for tiling.
It's not a simple task. There is a bit to it.
But it's also time consuming.
Of course, yeah.
Like the amount of tiles that have gone on this property, it's time consuming.
Yeah. A lot of it's taking your time and getting everything exactly right. If you do a cut wrong, you've got to waste that tile sometimes. You've just got to get the cuts right, like I say, around when we're scribing around the brick wall. You want it all to sit neatly.
So, you've actually, they're not straight cuts, you've actually scribed around those. And what are these? We've got a bunch of tile trims. I think I learned that last time.
Tile trims, yes.
Where are these physically going to go on this? Because you've scribed around this side.
On this, because we're coming across that wall as well.
Yeah.
The only time you're going to see a tile trim is going to be across this edge. Okay. Because you don't want to see the edge of a tile when you walk in. That's going to ruin the effect of the tiles.
Okay.
You want that to sit flush with the tile and look nice.
Have we picked some of these yet? What are we going with?
I think we said that we were going to go for the brushed steel because of the tap. Because we've got two taps, haven't we, exactly the same.
You know what, guys? You're the experts. You know which one it is? This is what Dan does, picks the colours for you.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why I give Dan so much grief on the build is because he's one of the longest standing members of Verified Trades. That doesn't mean I give everyone grief for that reason, but it's fun with Dan.
But as you can show the camera, there's a lot of choices. I mean, there is glittery for some people who would like the glitter.
I think it was Dan's favourite actually.
Yeah.
I like the gold glitter.
You like
The gold
glitter
glitter,
one?
yeah. That's your vajazzle, weren't
The
it?
jazzle there. When I came in this morning, you weren't putting adhesive on the wall. What were you putting on the wall earlier?
So I used, it's an SPR primer really, but it's a different make. So it's a primer. This is fresh plaster. So
Yep.
I always like to prime fresh plaster.
What is it actually doing?
Stops the moisture from coming out of because the plaster's going to suck out any moisture.
Because if you put the adhesive straight on the wall, it would have drawn the moisture out and it would have gone off quicker.
It will dry too quick, and then that's when you get no adhesion.
Guys, appreciate it. I've taken up too much of your time. I'll let you get on with it. I've never actually seen him do any work. I've never actually seen you. This is like being at a zoo and seeing the lion feast on its food. I am in awe.
Do you know why I'm working?
Why are you working?
I'm working to get all the plaster out of my boxes. You're watching this video now. With your no teeth, your hot spoon, I'm coming for you. I'll find you a little bridge you're living under.
Nicholas Plasters, theme of the show.
We're trying to get the stuff out, but they're tiling it tomorrow, and we want to make sure there's nothing worse than plastering your box. But it's not quite as bad. But the next worst thing is when a tiler over tiles the box, so you can't physically get your socket or switch back.
Yeah.
So by us allowing him to see exactly where the edge of the box is, hopefully he is next door. I will have a word with him.
I've just seen what they've done. They look very respectful.
Yeah,
They've
he's
done
a
a
good
good
lad.
job.
He's a good lad.
They've done the work.
I've already met him, but yeah, just to give him a bit of a heads up so he knows exactly how big the box is, so hopefully he doesn't overlap and then make our life more difficult in the long run. Right down here is what we call a maintenance-free joint. A maintenance-free joint is now designed over the old junction boxes, which were done up with a screwdriver. So they were physical terminations that you had to tighten up, and over time they could become loose and cause house fires, arcing, there's loads of things with it. So the new sort of thing that was created was Wagos, push connectors, lever connectors, loads of different types. This is the Wago 221, which is a lever connector, which puts the same pressure on all the connections throughout. So it's the same torque setting as such. You then make it maintenance free by put it in the box that's designated for it. There's loads of different types, but these ones are designed when you put them in, it can't vibrate, and by it not vibrating, it becomes a maintenance free joint because cables do actually vibrate over time once they're used and heated up and there's current flowing through them. But by making it maintenance free, you put them in, you close it down, you put a zip tie on it as well, which maintenance free as well, you don't have to use a tool to open it up. So once it's cable tied shut, that's sort of it. It's then screwed to the joist. There's a little screw lug on here. If you lift that up, that keeps it in place. We like to screw it up and out of the way to joists, just keeping it free from floating. It's a bit different here because like we said before, we've got this void, which you wouldn't really normally have in a house, but it's just a really good connection to put under the floor. You can bury these, not this type, but you can bury maintenance-free joints normally in the floor, in lofts, in floorboards and everything like that, because we don't really need access to them afterwards. If you're ever fitting them, what I would say doing a rewire is do your IR test to make sure everything's connected in the way it should be before the floor goes back down, or the plaster ruins things.
Let's have a quick look upstairs. And hopefully, one thing that you've noticed as we walk through the build is this place is actually quite a nice working environment now. We can see it's a lot cleaner, a lot tidier. As I said, kitchen's going in, bathrooms are going in, all the nice furnishings are going in. So we've made sure that it feels really less like a building site and now more like a home renovation. And as we're talking about putting stuff in, because I've said it a lot, you can see the master bedroom is starting to take shape. So the latest addition is the stud walls up, as you can see, and the thinking around this is we want to create as much open space in this bedroom as possible. The light in here is stunning compared to what it used to be. If you've been subscribed to the channel, you'll remember no roof windows were in here, it felt very dark. So we put the stud wall in to create an ensuite in the master bedroom. So come into the master bedroom, go into the ensuite. We've got the rocker shower tray in, which is 800 by 800. So this is going to get fully tiled with the Ibiza white tiles across the floor, and then in, I'm assuming I can stand on this, and then these three walls are going to get tiled, and then it opens up into the rest of the bathroom, but we're not taking up too much space. Nice little space here that we can get a set of drawers, and where Harry stood right now is where the bed is going to be. And one more thing to talk about in this master bedroom, which I'm assuming, I don't want to move this in case it's actually doing something, but it kind of leads on to my point, is these beams up here, as you can see, they're not secure, they're not safe, and they really wouldn't hold any weight. Well, what I wouldn't want to happen is bore that out and let a homeowner come in here, put something up there, because storage space is key. So we're going to put a key-light loft ladder in here so people can access that storage space. But exactly the same as what we've done with these is they all need strengthening. So you're putting this in the episode?
just in case, you know.
Just arrived to site, we've got a lockbox. Let me show you. We've got a lockbox.
Yeah, show them where we keep the keys to the property.
They won't know the code. Lockbox over there. Don't zoom in too much, the code's still on it actually. And this key's inside. So I came over to, I was like, oh, that's a chunky key. Slightly different, but I was like, okay, we've had new doors. Then I noticed there's no handle. And that doesn't fit. So I don't know what's going on. And I don't really know what to do. Where's the handle?
There's a door.
And by the way, if you are thinking right now, why I'm wearing Gymshark, it's getting very cold. We had a gift from our friends at Scruffs, which is also in there. Turns out that key is a front door key we worked out in the end. Got a problem with the back door, some alignment issues, so we've got to get that fixed. The guys over at Glazing are going to come back out. That's unknown to us what's going on. Actually, when we took the mechanism out, there's a cable in there. It's like a smart lock system, so there's a chance that we've just bodged it, not knowing it was a smart lock system. But hey ho, we press on. But someone, I think I know who it is by the way, and you just got a voice message from me. Someone has taken my new Scruffs jacket off site. So I was rolling around cold, hence me not wearing my branded, but at least I'm warm. And I wanted to sort of like share with you what's going on in the build. And rather than me walking around talking to everyone on the build, I kind of don't want to get in the way because it feels like it's full swing right now. Harry's sort of been around, got the camera out, so you'll be able to see some of the stuff, but I thought I'd share with you where we're at, as well as what's coming up next week. So right now, as you can see behind us, Morgan's, I thought he just stood there. Morgan is doing some work, he's holding up the level, because Dan has used that pretty cool thing at the end of the digger, drilled out some holes, I think it's called an auger, sort of saves the requirement for hand digging. Put all the holes in, so the fence is going up in the back garden right now.
Right, so this is the dividing line between the cottage garden and the 4-bed garden. So what we've done, as you can see, if you look down towards the house where the mixer is, we've taken a line off the cottage border, pulled it through the recess so the line touches the brickwork. We've pulled the line all the way to the back of the garden. That then gives our border. Once we've done that, we've set our posts out at 1.8 metre centres, because when we're doing our post and rail, your length's going 3.6s, and you stagger the joints in the post and rail like you do like a brick bond. So we've augured down 2 foot, in some cases a bit deeper because some of the ground's made up a little bit. Then what we do, posts are 6 foot, we sink them in the ground 2 foot, level them all up, make sure the line's right, we'll put postcrete around them, let them go hard, and then we'll put some rails on, and that'll give our nice divide.
And then behind H, as I look at it right now, we've got the Brett paving, so we've got the Brett Porcelain paving. Our friends over at Tippers are coming to do a pour next week. We've got about 4 cube coming down to the bottom behind the cottage.
What's a cube?
A cube, cubic metre. I don't actually know what substance is going down. I wanted to say concrete. I'm pretty sure it's concrete. It would make sense if it's concrete, but I heard the word slurry. We can probably ask someone that's an actual trade to let us know what's going down, or we can catch up with them next week. But most excitingly, we get to open those packs of Brett Porcelain paving. They're going to be stunning. 1,000 by 500, so the same size, all the way across the back of that property. And it'll be fun to see that get put down. I've got to give a shout out to our friends over at Grabo. We told them that we're doing some work on the property, moving some big rads, moving some big porcelains. We've got the Grabo units, we'll show those in use. So that's everything that you need to know when it comes to the back garden. Going into the property today, that van that is new, it's not a new van, it's a battered van. It's a battered van because it's a plasterer's van, because they carry loads of dirty stuff in it, is what I've learned. Got 2 plasterers upstairs that right now are cutting out parts of the ceiling, making good, patching up. I learnt what browning is. Browning? Brown stuff. Basically, put it against the wall, it's like a sand cement mix. They put that against the wall and there's big holes to fill in, and then what they do is let that go off and then skim over it. So they're browning up all the holes in a couple of the bedrooms, because this afternoon we've got the first couple of guys from Paint Warrior coming who are going to start the P&D prep. So they're going to start filling all the holes, sanding, getting ready for the actual paint and decorating. So our plan is, with the plasterers, they're sort of doing like bedroom by bedroom upstairs now. Bedroom 2, bedroom 1, reverse order, but I know what I mean because I've seen the plan. And then going to work upstairs into that ensuite that you saw us talk about earlier, which has now been studded out. They're going to board and skim all that. And then all of a sudden, this is going to start feeling like a different property because all be skimmed, paint and decorators coming in, and then from top to bottom, we're going to start getting paint on walls. And it's going to really have a beautiful, I guess, transformation now. And we'll probably have to act a bit differently in the property. We've got to keep it a lot cleaner than we have done, but you've seen those changes this week. Hard cut here because my mum just popped to sight. Everyone loves my mum because she pays everyone. Heating system's nearly done. The next part of that job is actually fitting that Megaflow cylinder. And talking about Megaflow and the Baxi boilers, we actually were joined by our friends over at Baxi, the one and only Mr. Ian Trott, to talk through the specific features and benefits of the 2 boilers that we've got installed in these properties.
My name's Ian Trott, I'm part of the Baxi training team, and today I'm here at Verified Build to talk about the Baxi 800 heat only. Standard 3/4 gas washer in there, so you'll be carrying that on your van, so there's no specialist parts required. It's got the fan, the gas valve and the burner head all in one, the Baxi 800 combi range. If you want to pipe up the back of the boiler, you don't have to extend the depth of the cupboard. You can use the connections that come in the box, or you could use your own pipe work.
If you want to catch up with all that Baxi content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Last thing I want to talk about that's going on in the build, the kitchen. I actually came into the property this morning and saw all the utility done. The utility is looking beautiful. The tiles are done, tiles are done in the house, and as we speak, Dan and Luke, the kitchen fitters, are doing all the tiling using the Marquee Collection brick deco tiles. They look absolutely stunning. Looking forward to seeing them complete. And that kind of wraps up what's going on in the build. So that gives me the opportunity to tell you what's coming up next week. Paint and decorators are actually coming a couple of days early. Turns out they'll actually be working over the weekend. Harry, you going to be here over the weekend? That's a no. So they're coming up to actually do the preparation for the room. So they're going to be up over the weekend. We've got the beautiful lick paint going in next week. So you're going to see a real transformation from that point. So all the plastering will have been done. Painting's going to be done. And then what we've got to start to look at is the flooring. You saw previously that we worked with our friend Tiernan. He's doing the flooring. Quote is accepted. Looking forward to having him up. It's going to take about 5 days. I misbudgeted that. And it's not that Tiernan is overpriced or expensive. He's very fair and explains everything that's going on in his quote. We didn't consider what we were doing with the flooring, which is what I spoke to him about. We didn't realise that we'd have to put this screed down to level the floor for the plank and the herringbone solutions that are going in from the Kraus collection. But all done, all booked in, and really looking forward to making some content with Tiernan, sort of showing all the tricks and tips when it comes to flooring. And he's also got his cool product called Pipe Easy. Again, shameless plug, but we want to support the trades we're working with. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to hit subscribe, get notified when every video comes out. And as always, if you have any questions, don't ask me them. I'm pretty useless. I'm just here to commentate of what's going on. But we have a lot of brains and a lot of experience on the site. If you want to know anything about what's going on in the build, put it in the comments and we'll make sure we reply. Speak to you soon.